Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220, KHTS. Your host, Fred Arnold on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. I'm joined by Dr. Shirazi, right? Shirazi. I said it like 4 times and I got it wrong. Sorry, Dr. Shirazi. She's with UCLA Health of Santa Clarita Valley.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about women's health because cardiovascular health, that's kind of your specialty, right?
That is cardiology, yes.
Yeah.
So, women's heart disease is a leading cause of death of women in this country, in the U.S. Yes.
More than cancer.
More than cancer. Number 1 is heart disease. Number 2 is other forms of cancer. Number 3 is stroke. So heart disease and stroke are up there. They've been up there for quite a while.
Aren't they? A little bit?
They correlate. Yeah, they're definitely risks for one another.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that and stress and stress that women have. I know usually they're the primary caregiver for their children. A lot of times they work a full-time job.
Yeah.
In suburbia, California.
Yeah.
Do you see that a lot? And does that really affect your heart, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. So, about 20 years ago, we said type 2 diabetes is the modern epidemic in the U.S., and we're seeing more younger people, it's the adult onset diabetes. And then about 10 to 15 years ago, it became obesity, and now it's stress. Stress is our modern epidemic in this country. It affects all genders, but specifically women, we see that stress and emotional triggers tend to actually trigger a lot of their cardiovascular diseases and heart attack, stroke, that sort of thing. We see that frequently, and we actually see that their symptoms are very similar to stress-related symptoms. So it's not like the classic man with the elephant on his chest, squeezing chest pressure. Women have very atypical symptoms, and stress is very closely tied into that.
Well, a lot of times that's been associated with men and not women.
Yeah.
And we're really getting awareness out there that, it's the number one cause of death in our country. Let's talk about preventative measures.
So preventive measures, first of all, is to know your history, to know your family history. Do you have a strong family history of heart disease?
Isn't that one of the primary things you need to look at? Because
it's very important. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people say, well, I think my mom or my dad had heart problems, but I don't know, and it's not really clearly defined. But definitely sort of scaling back into your, going back into your family tree, that's really important, especially first-degree family history and early onset of heart disease. Then there's all the classic risk factors that we talk about, like smoking and high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, sedentary lifestyle, high stress lifestyle, which is something I really counsel people about now because it really does impact. It creates a state of inflammation in your body, actually, chronic stress. So
let's talk about those two things, ways to reduce the stress itself. Exercise and mindset. Eating, exercise, and mindset. Yes. I think all three of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think once you start exercising, because I'm passionate about exercising, it reduces your stress automatically.
Most definitely.
But you got to throw the diet in.
Yeah, the diet really, I think there's too much of this whole component of the go lifestyle and what, even if you're not eating fast food, but you're eating a lot of processed foods that are high in trans fats or just not getting a lot of your nutrients, high in salt for sure. And so we're seeing a lot more high blood pressure. And then people have a lot of chronic aches and pains because they're stressed out, not getting enough sleep, not eating right. And then they're taking other supplements, and then it's creating more stress, and it's just a sort of vicious cycle.
It's like a hamster wheel.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I would think that one of the biggest things we could talk about is either exercise or fatiguing yourself to an extent with exercise, so you'll actually be tired at night and sleep.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you exercise,
exactly.
Not kill yourself, but if you sweat and you're tired and you wake up at a decent hour to exercise, by the time you go to bed at 10 o'clock, you're tired.
You're tired.
And that helps you.
Yeah. And so you're not up stewing about and stressing about what you have to accomplish the next day or whatnot, whatever's stressing you out. Mindfulness too, especially since we're in Southern California. I talk to a lot of patients about meditation, yoga, Tai Chi. Yeah. I mean, these things really do calm yourself, and they sort of calm the inflammation and the stress in the body, and you're able to, it slows down your blood pressure, your heart rate, everything. So.
One last thing I'll mention before we finish up, and that is your work life. You spend a lot of time at work, anywhere from 35 to 60 hours, let's say. If you can't take those breaks during the day, if you can't figure a release, it'll eat you up.
You can have 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, or like if you have a quick break, even at lunch, take 5 to 10 minutes just to go outside, get some fresh air, and sort of.
And for all those bosses out there, create that atmosphere where, let's go for a walk, or hey, let's bring something healthy in, or let's do one day a week where we bring something homemade for everybody. I mean, you can really have fun with it, but it's about your life. Yeah. And you don't want to worry about these things when you're 65, 70, or even younger.
Sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. Those that want to get more information with UCLA Health, they could just Google it, right? UCLAhealth.org?
Yes.
/Santa Clarita?
Yes, and my office, I do have an office here in Santa Clarita. It's 23861 McBean Parkway, Suite E24 in Valencia, California, 91355.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, congratulate on all your success.
Oh, no, thanks.
Yep, and keeping those ladies healthy. And let me just tell you right now, a healthy mom, a healthy wife, a healthy friend, boy, it radiates to everybody around
the entire community.
Yeah. Love that. Dr. Shirazi, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
A cardiologist from the practice at UCLA Health of Santa Clarita. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. The show's Fred Arnold on AM 1220 KHTS.